truck's making awful much noise. We got to go tell the mayor.
Yeah. All right. I've got to share the camera. I've got to do add source, connect by URL 192.168.1.133. Won't do us any good if we can't connect the camera.
I know it. Joanne sent me a thing over Facebook.
Right.
I told her we're trying to get on my Spectrum. I said, and I put trying, and she goes, okay, thanks. She goes, I forgot. There's no tomorrow. It's Thanksgiving. She goes, I'll watch tomorrow. Tomorrow's Thanksgiving.
All right. Well, we are on the new Wake Up Wilmington, except we have no camera because it won't connect to a camera. So let me see if I can.
So now you may hear us, but you can't see us.
Right. Radio.
We're on radio.
So let me turn this on.
Don't say those 7 words.
I'm trying to Rick's iPad. There we go. Maybe that'll. Okay, so we are on there.
On there.
All right. Here we go. All right.
So now we're live on it on audio.
No, we are on video too.
Oh, we're not on the TV.
Well, I'll have to do that. We are on the TV, so we are live. Don't have a lot of all the extras and bells and whistles, but we are connected to YouTube. We are YouTube Live, so we are on. Let me check YouTube. There, we're live.
We are live. I'm trying to tell someone.
Look, there we go. All right. So actually, it's Omni Fiber that's the shit today, and it's Spectrum that's working for us. There you go, Joe. We make fun of Spectrum all the time, and it's
you do,
and it's.
I never make fun of Spectrum.
Well, I have Spectrum at home. All right, I'll turn it down. All right, so it's 8:29.
So he'll be calling us in 1 minute.
And we are live.
Or less than a minute.
And we will have
Dylan
in for his interview, and that'll be fun. You talk with Dylan. You know how to do an interview, Joe?
No, I've never did one before.
Yeah. I watched that interview you did with the coach at the Buckeyes game last Sunday. That was a pretty good interview.
Thank you.
Well, no, the coach did real well. I don't know about you. But anyway.
Well, that's what a good interviewer does. You just sort of feed them and let them talk.
Is that what you do? Well, we'll see what you do.
I don't have to do a lot of
So
talking.
obviously people are finding us because our numbers are climbing once again.
Well, I've texted 2 or 3 and said we're back on. We're back on.
Yeah. It's not on the YouTube stream that I set up. I set this up, and we are going through. And you know. But anyway, I'm not even going to let them walk me through this time like they did the last time to get it working. I'm going to make them come out and see what's going on with the fiber. Because obviously there is an issue with the fiber, and it's been the last couple
There
days.
is an issue.
Yes, and as much as we pay for the fiber, I expect service.
Hey, guess what, people? Hello, Dylan.
Hello.
Okay, you're on the air, but we have a little problem. We were going to have you on the screen, but wouldn't pull you up for some reason.
Well, no, the fiber isn't working, and it seems like the fiber doesn't work whenever you're scheduled to come on.
Yeah, it's all your fault, Dylan.
Must be.
You're two for two.
You're too close to Michigan.
Is that it? Is that it?
It must be. It is that week.
Yeah, it is that week.
They actually drive right through Toledo on the way up to the game.
That's it.
So are you going? You're going to be in Ann Arbor this weekend?
I will not be. I'll be watching it here with my family.
Oh.
But we're definitely rooting for the Buckeyes.
All right, that's what I wanted to hear there.
Yep.
Well,
The way I see it, if you're in the state of Ohio, how can you not root for OSU in the game?
Well, tell your player that wears the wrong helmet that. You ought to heard the coaches on Wilmington sidelines when they saw him out practicing before the game.
The Buckeyes sidelines. It wasn't Wilmington.
Oh, well, see, I usually say the Buckeyes when I'm doing Wilmington College, and now we're in Wilmington, and I'm calling the Buckeyes Wilmington.
He's old. He has transference or whatever it is.
So, anyway, when they looked out, you guys were practicing warm-ups before the game, and one of the coaches saw the kid with the wrong helmet on, and he goes, "How dare him wear that helmet on this field?"
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
Oh my.
So,
That's funny.
So, did you do your homework? Did you ask your coaches about, or any of the other players, how it was to play one school and then how it was to play Ohio State?
I did. So the notes I have is actually one of our players. His name is William Kerr. He was our defensive tackle. He's currently on the list to be nominated for All-American, so we're hopefully
Wow,
going
that's
to
good.
see him there. He leads the nation in sacks right now in the NCFA, so
Well, we wish him luck.
thank you.
I don't think he got any in our game, I hope.
I'm not sure because I didn't do the stats for that game. You know, I was having some car difficulties.
Oh, that's right. You had an electric problem.
Well, yeah.
Yep.
We haven't, don't worry, we've not talked or laughed about it or anything down here.
Oh, no. We've not made fun of your Tesla.
We've not
having
made
electricity.
a funny joke about you whatsoever. You believe that?
Well, I'm pretty sure I heard the word. I heard my car get mentioned when I was watching the Ohio State-Michigan State game.
Oh my gosh.
And I didn't do that. It's
blame
my
it on
partner
me. Blame
that
it
was
on me,
talking
Joe.
about your Tesla. And Dylan's a little problems with his electric. Forgot to plug something in.
Well, we've had how much snow here, Joe? Not much. So,
Not much.
So Dylan has saved us from global warming another day.
Yes.
We played our last game against Wright State in the snow. It was the first and only time I've ever played in a snow game, and it was a lot of fun.
Because
imagine
I
it
remember
would be.
you calling up and saying, and we said that over the air, that the field was snow covered.
Yeah. Ours was covered, and then I think up north, Michigan State was playing Oakland that day, and they had like -24 up in East Lansing.
Oh,
It was
makes you
something
want to move right
crazy.
up there.
I am so glad we did not do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, the wind chill up there was crazy.
Oh.
So they had it even worse than us. For the most part, it was just the snow. And but it was a lot of fun. Guys were like sliding into the end zone after we won the game. I threw my helmet up in the air and then ran and slid into the end zone with them because I was like, it's my last game.
So that is your last game.
That is my final game as a player. Yes.
So
I am
you'll still be
officially-
connected with the club, though. You're just not going to be playing after this. You have to hang your cleats up.
Yes, sir, that's correct. Because in the NCFA, you get up to 5 seasons. So I've used my 5th and final one this year. So I will be hanging up the cleats, unfortunately, but it was a good 5 years. And, next year, I think one thing, it'll, in a way, help our team because a lot of times, like, being the one that founded it, here at Toledo. Like, everyone's kind of looking to you as like the manager and like the guy that like they just, when they have questions or anything, pregame, I'm kind of trying to be half a manager, half a player, getting myself ready for a game.
Right.
So now I can be fully focused on one and not having to split my time between both.
That'll help you, yes.
Oh, that'll help me big time.
Now, can you still...
So he will remember to plug his car in the next time.
Oh, absolutely.
Will you be part of the club or just part of the coaching staff?
So basically, right now, or into next year, my official title will be general manager still, because we actually got this idea from our hockey club up at Toledo. They've been around for decades, and basically they have an alumni that's titled like is general manager that helps kind of set up some of the stuff for them alongside their student president. So that's kind of the model that I thought would be good for our team, because I mean hockey's been successful for all those years, and I'm hoping for us to be around just as long. So that's kind of the idea. But then I'll also be helping out as a linebackers coach, since that's what I played. So I'll kind of be doing a little bit of coaching, a little bit of team managing stuff with our president and our head coach. So just doing a little bit of both, I guess, next year.
Well, tell people how you became a club.
Yeah, so it goes back to just before COVID. It was actually like fall 2019. I was a sophomore at UT, and we have the Toledo Blade up here. It's like the biggest news place,
Right.
kind of like
I've heard of it.
newspaper in this area. And they had written an article about Ohio State being ranked number 1 in the country at the same time as the varsity program was. And I'm like, club football? What is that? That year I'd actually played like the intramural like flag football stuff that they had, and just because I missed playing since my high school days.
Sure.
But it was just never the same. So then this was my first time hearing that there was organized like 12 or 11-on-11 football that schools are able to do, and I'm like, why doesn't UT have one? So I was talking to my dad, talking to some friends, and started looking into it. Like you guys have mentioned, I'd seen the broadcast too when I was doing my research of Ohio State. So then I got in touch with 2 different people, Coach Grega, which we're all familiar with.
Right.
And then also up at Oakland University, I got in contact with their founder, Nick. And so I kind of got notes from both of them, got advice of like how to present it to UT. So then I set up a meeting with our rec center with Tony North Jr. He's our current director. At the time, he was only a club sports director. Now he runs the whole rec center.
Oh.
Great guy. And so I sit down with him, give him my plan, and they said yes, gave me the approval, filled out all the paperwork, and then February 2020 we were officially a club team.
Then you had to contact the national NCAA or whatever it's called. NCFA.
Yeah. Yep. So I talked to them a little bit too leading up to that meeting, and then I let them know that we got approved. And before COVID hit and closed everything, so just to put it in perspective, like everything kind of shut down in like March 2020. So in February, we're thinking, we're gonna have a season this fall. You've got 8 months or something, or 7
Right.
to get ready.
Right.
But the league dues, at the time, I think it was set up differently or something, because we had to like pay like our due, or maybe not the dues. It was like some sort of like deposit or something, and it was due like to be in the league for that year, and it was due like March 1st. And so like we went around. So this is a story most people don't know about, and I'm like sitting here, sophomore in college, don't know what I'm doing yet, And I'm like, oh, we got to raise like all this money now in a couple weeks. And went around like asking people for help. Actually got like 2 places to sponsor us, and the rest was history. So we got into the league. That just carried over to next year because we didn't have a season because of COVID, sadly.
Right.
But in a way, it was kind of a blessing in disguise back in those days because...
Gave you another year to prepare and get ready.
Yes, exactly. It gave us the time we needed to get things put together. We didn't even have our head coach yet. So Jamie Young, he's been our head coach for all 5 seasons. Great guy. He used to run a semi-pro team up here in Toledo. And the way I actually found out or came in contact with him is over the summer when everything was shut down, I was like asking Coach Greg, where do you guys find coaches from? And his advice was looking at semi-pro coaches in our area, because he said, I think he pulled some from there in Columbus or something, I don't know. But anyways, he gave me that advice, so I looked up if we had any in this area, and I found Coach Young's team. Set up a meeting with him. He said he wasn't sure what I was even talking about. He's like, is this flag or is this, like, what is this? And then I explained to him what club football is in the NCFA, and he thought it was awesome, and he was all in. So,
it's almost like minor league for the college in a sense.
Yeah. I mean, when we're on campus, like, we refer to ourselves as the other football team at University of Toledo. Like, we're
Toledo's B team.
Yeah, you could call it a B team, a
Well,
JV.
and a lot of schools, like Ohio State, their club football team, I would pit up just about against any, and we do a lot of Division III football with Wilmington College, and we see other, even Division I's, their junior varsities, but Ohio State can compete with any of those. Now, granted, Ohio State's a campus of 60,000 students, so they've got a lot of people to draw from. But, ultimately, it still comes back to you got to play football, and you got to play football with that funny-looking ball. And so I think that anyone that wants or has an interest in that, because we did a lot of semi-pro football in years past on Campus Nation. And 'cause there are a lot of them in Ohio. People don't realize how many semi-pro teams there are. These are people that, they graduate from high school or they graduate from college and they say, hey, I don't want to give up football. I love football. It's part of my life. And so that's how they continue on. These club teams are a great way if you have eligibility or if you're going to college, to be able to continue playing football beyond high school.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, I couldn't agree more. It's
I
a
wonder
really
if
great opportunity.
I wonder if the NIL will change clubs in a way. Not too much for individual players. Maybe it will for those 2 or 3 really good players on your squad. But if you could go out and get some a sponsorship from somebody local, like you said, you've got a couple sponsors to help you guys get going. That would still feed you guys money to keep your club going.
Yeah, I mean, the sky's the limit. Obviously, we're not going to be have as much funds to work with as our D1 counterparts, but there's options now. And what I was also going to say though is it's kind of a nice thing though. At least me and one of my coaches were talking about. The nice thing about this league is with the way that college football has just been changing a lot recently, and, everyone's worried about the money and this and that. It's nice having, this league is one where people aren't worried about what they're getting in NIL.
Right. You're playing for the fun of the game.
These guys are out there for the love of the game. Maybe some of that's being lost right now in the upper levels, but,
sadly to say, I think it is, because that worried me when they first announced and they talked about the portal and they talked about NIL and they talked about these other things like professional gambling. And we're in Ohio now, we just recently approved the fact that high schoolers now can be paid NIL money. So
Yeah.
it's permeating down to the lowest levels of sports. And us being, sports is part of our business. I was concerned with gambling and with all the other, things that could affect the purity of the sport. And I'm not saying that the sport is pure, but I'm saying when you look at sports, and particularly when you talk high school and college, you figure that as you get older, maybe it gets a little more corrupt. There's more influences that shouldn't be there. But ultimately, this NIL money and
The more money's involved, the more problems.
right, and I'm not saying that
Yeah.
that young athletes shouldn't receive some kind of compensation or that they shouldn't have some kind of way to be able to help pay for school, books, food, whatever. They deserve that like anyone else. So it's not that I, begrudge young athletes from being able to take their skills and be able to profit from it. But I'm just afraid that we're starting to, we're starting to water down or dilute the purity of the sport. And
Well,
maybe
players that were playing 1 or 2 years and then jumping to the NFL are saying, "Hey, I can make more money staying here for another 2 years," because when you go to the NFL, you got the first year you can only get so much money. Yeah, that's they have a contract for that. So a lot of football players in college are finding out, hey, they're paying me more to play in college than I was going to get my first year in the NFL, so I'll stay another year.
Right.
I don't know what this girl makes, but we have a girl that interned for us last year from Wilmington College. And of course, we do a lot of work with Wilmington College, so we work with a lot of interns at the college. That, for instance, our basketball broadcast we did last night, there were 3 or 4 interns that worked with us as far as for that production. But this young lady she came to Wilmington College to play soccer from a school in Cincinnati, and she apparently was fairly good. But she was getting NIL money at Wilmington College, but it wasn't for her playing soccer because she got injured. It was for her social media skills. I didn't even think you could get NIL money for doing social media for
I
a
reckon
college.
you can get NIL for anything anymore.
But anyway, she's making NIL money, so that's more than Joe and I are making.
Yeah.
Need the Campus Nation NIL fund.
Well, that's right. Maybe we should get some special donors and things. We know a few millionaires around here.
So what was the word between Toledo playing Coppin State and Toledo playing Ohio State?
Yes, so back to that. Like I was saying, our defensive tackle, William Curd, he goes by Billy, actually. I asked him specifically, just because, if you didn't know, he actually used to play NCAA at Case Western.
No.
And he's very smart. He knows the game way better than I do, even. So he gave me some great insight onto his thoughts, because, he's down there in the trenches for both games, so.
Right.
So just to go back to what he said, I think, he said, both teams had a good defense. Our offense was struggling against both of those teams. And our offense, every other game was putting up 20 to 60 points. And just those 2 teams, we just, they couldn't get over the hump. So they both have good defenses. He said well-executed blocking. They were both well-coached. Coppin State, let's see here. Yeah, he said they had a great run game. He kind of said something that I said earlier in the broadcast, or in the other broadcast, where I was saying they had some bigger guys on Coppin State, but they were kind of slower, like less athletic. But if they get a hold of you, then you're kind of stuck.
Right.
So, he said sometimes it was easy to get, it was an easy win for his rep, or if they got a hold of him, he was, getting caught up in the pile. So, but then he said OSU, they had more, like, he said they well executed. complicated blocking schemes, things like that. So, they were well coached. They had great technique, great athleticism. But yeah, I mean, both teams are well coached, I would say. And, this is something that goes back to the summer even. I remember sitting in a meeting and Coach Greg was giving a presentation to the other teams, and his advice to them was run your team like a college football program. And you can tell that Ohio State and Coppin State are the two schools that are doing that the best right now in our league.
Well, and this is the first time that we have a national championship game, and we'll talk more about that because it's going to be at your home, the Glass Bowl. But this is the first time we have two undefeated teams going at it for the national championship as far back as I can remember.
Yeah, I think Coach Grego is saying it's been at least 7 or 8 years since there was two undefeated teams going to play each other. So that is a pretty cool thing right there.
And Coach Grega has been coaching the Buckeyes since the inception of the club. So he's no slouch when it comes to his coaching.
Well, not the inception, because he played on the club team himself. So he wasn't coached then.
He played in the early days and then started coaching, I think it was 2018.
Yeah.
But I think for the to be an undefeated team in the club teams today is harder than it was 7-8 years ago, because I think all the other club teams are getting better. And so therefore it's it used to be if you had maybe one good team, the rest were sort of learning and still getting together. But now there are so many good club teams. It's hard to go undefeated the whole year.
Yeah, the leagues, the teams are growing, leagues expanding. I know COVID took a few schools away, but I know there's more coming in next year. And, people like Coach Grega and hopefully myself, we're out there getting more schools in too, even though, it adds competition, but it's good for the league.
Yeah,
it's good for the programs that exist.
That's right. You can you can inspire new clubs. Well, for instance, we asked, why doesn't Michigan have a club football team? And they said maybe years ago they did. But we'd like to see more teams like in this area in Ohio. We know that Miami had a club because we did some of their broadcasts on Campus Nation, and they just struggled to keep kids interested in playing club football at Miami. And I don't understand why, because they're a decent, they're a decent football school. You would think there would still be some kids that would want to pursue, a club, career if they can't make the D1 team.
Well, you guys got a team, so maybe that rival of yours, just a little south of Toledo.
Bowling Green.
Oh,
yeah.
See, I wasn't saying their name for you, but if they came up with a club team, there would give you guys a big rival game right there.
Sure, Falcons. But they have those Cleveland colors, don't they?
Yeah, they got those ugly Cleveland browns.
Although I'm not a Bengals fan either, so but same colors.
No, they're brown, not black.
BGSU just opened a new turf field actually as well that club sports can utilize, and it was made with football lines and everything. So I think someone from Ohio State actually put a comment on their page, and then I left a comment with Toledo's page that they should look into the NCFA. And I haven't gotten a response yet, but I actually did send an email over to their club sports office. I think like a week or two ago.
Because I was just trying to think in my mind, what league you guys in Toledo? The MAC. How many MAC schools? There's Kent. I'm trying to think of schools in Ohio or near this area that are in the MAC.
Tons.
There's Miami University. There's Toledo, Bowling Green, Kent State. Akron.
Yeah, the Zips. Is that?
And then you've got Western, Central, and Eastern Michigan that are all, especially Eastern Michigan is like between, I think it's like kind of in between us and Oakland.
Yeah.
And those wouldn't be too far to have to travel in order to be able to do
Also, we
games.
played them early in the year.
Well, I mean, if you're coming down, to play Ohio State, you're traveling as far to Ohio State as you would be to go into Michigan. In areas like that.
Yeah, for Toledo, yeah.
And you could end up having a hotbed of club football right there centered around Toledo, and then maybe we might be able to cement the national championship game there in Toledo for a while. That would be nice.
Yeah. How many years is your contract?
So it's a year-to-year thing.
Oh, it's just one. I thought maybe you guys signed a 3-year contract or something.
Nope. We just, did our best to try to make it a great experience. And I think, the nice thing about our stadium is, I think it's the best stadium in the MAC
Now,
by far.
Did you ever go to Pennsylvania where they played?
I was never there in person. I've seen it.
Okay, you've seen it. That's my sort of thing. Compare it to any of the other club teams. Is it a stadium? Is it a high school? What is it?
The one in Pennsylvania, I think it's just like a small college field.
Okay.
So, I probably compare it to like a higher end high school stadium.
Right, like a D. Okay, D1 high school.
Bigger schools in Columbus too.
Right.
So that's probably comparable to like those bigger high schools.
But now that they get it to a D1 college stadium, I think they're not going to probably do any better than that. In my opinion.
Well, you're not going to find a better stadium than the Glass
Bowl. No, without going to like Ohio State or some big school like that.
The Horseshoe, we know there's no chance that we get inside there. And it's not that the facilities at Ohio State are second, but it's not the Horseshoe. But
right.
The point is, the Glass Bowl is by far the best. Now, do you have any idea why they did away with the semifinals and just made it finals? Was it dragging too far into the winter, or why did they go from the 2 games that we did the last 2 years and that you hosted there at the Glass Bowl to just a single national championship game? Did they give you any inkling about that?
Yeah. So the reason that it changed for this year is, you guys may be familiar with. So there's 2 schools that left from the Georgia area.
Right.
Clayton State, that Ohio State played last year.
Right.
And then Gordon State University, who they also had played in previous championship games.
Right, correct.
Both of those schools
dropped out.
And I think they actually moved up to like NA, I don't know which league, junior college or something.
Okay.
They became like the lowest division of like NCAA something.
Right.
So they kind of like moved on. I think that's what they did, but they basically moved on to a different thing. And so that kind of left a hole in the South Atlantic because you had only Columbus State and South Carolina left in that conference.
Right.
So they had to then merge the Atlantic into the Mid-Atlantic. The North and South became the Mid-Atlantic this year. Just until we can get a couple more schools back in next year.
Right.
To then kind of re-expand it.
Okay, so if they get enough schools back in, they'll go back to that.
Yeah, the plan is, as the fall goes well, we get a couple more schools in next year, and that'll get the playoffs back. My guess is I'm not exactly sure how they'll format it yet, but, because I don't know if they're going to realign it to 3 conferences again, or if they're just going to have, 2 conference champs and 2 wild cards this time, but we'll see how it goes kind of in the springtime. But what I was going to say with that is I think it was also, with the less schools this year, budget plays a factor because, each school's paying into the league dues. And, teams have to travel and all this stuff. So I think that all kind of played a role. And, I feel pretty confident we'll get back to our playoffs again next year.
Good.
And I was kind of talking about this before, but so Coppin State, they didn't have a conference championship because Sacred Heart
Right.
forfeited.
Yeah, you told me, and
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
didn't
so
tell
it's-
anybody.
Now that it's now that everything's set, yeah, they were going through the other schools trying to get someone able to. Columbus State couldn't, and they were going to call us because we were going to be the next in line. But then he realized it's a conference championship format now and not the playoffs. But we finished at number 5, and Columbus State was 4. So had it been a 14 playoff, we would have actually got the nod this year.
Right, you'd have jumped up one spot.
Time.
Right.
Yep.
Now, what happened with Sacred Hearts? Why didn't they?
I didn't hear why. I don't know if it was a finances thing or what exactly happened with that. I haven't gotten any word about what exact reasons there was. I mean, I didn't feel good about their chances necessarily because
Well,
they actually played Coppin State earlier that year, and it was, I think, like 51-7.
two things I
So,
want.
I think between like the results of that and the cost it would have had for them to travel, it probably could have both played a factor
Right.
to where
Okay.
like they're going to lose money to go down and play, because I know that was actually something that happened to Michigan State last year. They couldn't play, or they had a lot of injuries.
Yeah.
During at the end of the season, so like then the cost to have to drive down to Columbus with a lot of your key guys missing, it's understandable when budgets are a bigger deal in this league than it is for
absolutely.
those upper levels.
Right.
So
Well, two things I wanted to bring out. One was you guys didn't have a team. Well, I say 5 years ago because I'm just skipping 2020. So 5 years ago, 19 on, you guys never had a team. And now this year at one point, you guys were 5-0.
yeah,
So you guys have made giant steps to have no team to all of a sudden you're starting to be in the mix. And like you said, if this was like in the past, nothing had been changed, and then one team couldn't make it, they'd have picked you to take their spot. You were number 5, so you'd have been in the playoffs.
yeah.
So,
we would have had our first year in the playoffs and only in year 5.
Right.
It's really incredible, and that's where also though that goes all the way back to that extra year that I had to recruit Coach Young.
Right.
And then me and him had all that time to kind of build things and start on the right foot. Even that first year, we finished 3-3 the first year,
Which is still phenomenal.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was off to a great start, and I think that kind of helped set us up for the earlier success. And last year was a little bit of a fluke, but we had less games. We had a lot of trouble scheduling teams last year. We only could get 6, and then the last one was canceled against Oakland. So we ended that year 2-3. Should have been 3-3, but
Have you thought, Dylan, as far as scheduling? Ohio State, they'll do usually it's at 3 junior varsity, D3 or D1 or whatever
They're
schools.
D2 schools.
Yeah, have you thought about looking to other colleges to perhaps play their junior varsity? Because it brings it up a notch and gives you a lot more talent to play so that you're prepared when it does come to the national championship.
Yeah. So that's been on our radar, and it's actually, it's something we're discussing for next year. Maybe looking at start with 1 and then go from there.
Sure.
And it helps Columbus. I mean, they
definitely
have 2 or 3 schools with, right there. They got Springfield, they got a D2 school, and then in Columbus, they've got 2 or 3 D2 schools right there, Denison and Ohio Wesleyan. Wittenberg. And so, we play their D2 schools, and we play their JV of the D2 school, and that just helps tone Ohio State up even more,
Yeah, and the reason we hadn't done it quite yet was, we just had to keep building our program up, keep recruiting. Biggest thing for us, when you're talking about going to play a D3 JV is, the level of organization of the team, and
Right.
then 2, the linemen. They always say you win and lose games in the trenches.
Oh, yeah,
Absolutely.
you're true.
Especially when you're going to play a D3 JV in our league.
Right.
That's very true. If you don't have the linemen to match up, then it's not gonna.
Yeah, you don't want to go in and
do
get
well.
beat. You don't want to go in and get beat, 85 to nothing or something. That you're not gaining
Right,
anything
right.
there. But yeah, but if you can get up to that point where you can start competing with some of these D2 or D3 JV teams, then that's just going to strengthen your team playing tougher schedule. And then again, that would give you a couple
It would
games
give
that
you
maybe you
games.
can't get
The
against.
main thing is you got to have the reps. You got to have, because, and a lot of people don't realize this, it's not like you practice every day of the week. You don't. This is something that is an extra to your curricular. You don't. It's not like it's a regular program where you go out and you practice. 2-a-days, or it's not the same. You guys are doing this because you love the game, but you have some extra time and you want to devote it to playing football still at the college level. So if you could even find some other MAC schools that we could bring into the league, that would be fantastic.
Oh yeah.
I think
No,
Bowling
absolutely.
Green is the big one for you. If you could work on
Oh,
Bowling,
yeah.
Because it's not that far away. It'd be a close
yeah,
match.
or Kent State, Bowling Green, any of those. I don't know why they wouldn't be interested. I think that it would help strengthen. And the other thing is, some of these kids could be walk-ons if they've been discovered, so to speak. Now, I don't know if you've had any at Toledo. We have at Ohio State, but I'm sure that there's some talent that has come out to play on your teams that that UT has actually looked at and said, hey, this kid can play. Maybe we should give him an opportunity on the D1 team.
Yeah, so we've had a couple that have made it, I think 2 or 3 over these last 5 years. And so I think that's a great point, especially for schools like Toledo, like Ohio State, where you've got these D1 programs that are also going on when you have a club team. I think it's a great thing. It's a great way to, if you have guys that had X, Y, or Z reason that they didn't have the scholarship or didn't have this or that right away out of high school, this is their opportunity to develop and then, make that next step.
Absolutely.
Versus any other, without this league, you don't have a way to play football that first year of college. And, when you're talking about taking a whole year off, that can really set you back, especially with the way college football is now. Because they even cut down the rosters for NCAA, I think, down to 105.
Yeah.
It used to be 125. And that's another thing, too, is, those guys are, those rosters are getting cut down and they need a place to go, too. That's where,
That's another
I
thing.
think the
Helps the club
NCFA,
teams.
as it keeps growing, can play a good role in kind of helping out those kind of players.
Absolutely.
Okay, help my viewers out. Tell them, okay, I'm a kid. I'm going to go to Toledo. I played at high school, and my school was pretty good, and I was a pretty good player. But I'm not D1. I'm probably not going to make it to D1. But I was close. I thought about it. But I'm going to Toledo. How do I get on a club? What does player A need to do once he gets into school to get on the club team? Not with everything. I mean, with grades, with money, with whatever. How do you do that?
Yeah, so for ours and all the other schools as well, you only have to be in at least 6 or more credit hours, and then you don't have a GPA requirement to worry about your freshman year as long as you've gotten accepted into your school. Once you are in the school, so from freshman to sophomore year, you only have to maintain a 2.0 GPA, which at least for Toledo, and I'm sure it's the case at many other schools, that's the threshold anyways for graduation. You have to keep a 2.
Right.
So the rate as far as that isn't too hard. And then as far as getting on the team, I'm sure, I think Ohio State has one too, but like we have a recruiting form. We put flyers throughout campus, post on social media, directing people to our form. That way, you just fill out the form. Hey, I'm interested in club football. You fill out your contact info, your link to your film, etc. And then, someone from our team reaches out. And we do off-season workouts as well. If you're already at the school, then, bring it into the off-season workouts and go from there. But
How expensive is it to be on the club? You got dues, and you've got to pay for things. So what's the cost?
Yeah, so that would vary from school to school, I would say, because I know everyone's got different systems.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah.
I think at Ohio State they have to get their own helmet.
Yes, they do.
Yeah.
Toledo pays for your helmets, correct?
So we have the helmets already. Now we do. First and second year, a lot of our guys had to go get them.
All right.
But we were able to just kind of get, more and more over each season and build up our supply. And we're basically at a point now where we do have all the equipment. So you just have to pay. So our team due this year was $100, not expensive. We try to keep it as low as possible. Just to, not make that be a barrier from someone being able to play.
Sure.
Right.
So we keep it down to $100, and then they pay a deposit as well for when they sign out their equipment. That's basically just kind of to get them, we have that deposit so that when they turn their stuff back in, they get their deposit back.
Right.
So that's just, to make sure we don't lose equipment. Because, you lose a helmet, it's not as big a deal in D1, but, if we don't get a helmet back, it's setting us back a lot in the budget.
Sure.
So yeah, that's how ours goes. And that's compared to like our hockey club. I think it costs over $1,000.
Hockey equipment's expensive.
I think we have one of the lowest dues, which is crazy. But the advantage we have though is, you're talking a roster of 40 to 50 guys. So,
right.
That 100 goes a long ways when you have that many players.
Right.
It helps a lot. And what that goes to, so for anyone listening to what that goes to, it's really going back to the players because it's going to the fees to play in the Glass Bowl.
Right.
To get to play in the D1 facility. It goes towards our travel, which this year we got to go on a really cool road trip to Coppin State. Something we couldn't have ever done, year 1 to 4.
You almost got to go on a real good road trip to Ohio State. Almost.
Yeah, I almost did.
Almost did.
The rest of the guys got to take a bus.
By the game, yeah, I know. That's what he said. By the way, what did you forget? Coach said you forgot something. Yeah,
I left my stuff at home. I brought the team stuff to the bus stop, and I left my own stuff at home. So, hey, at least I brought the team stuff.
Well, that's right.
I was thinking about the guys first and kind of put myself last.
And we did eventually get the roster, so that was good.
Yeah. You sent it to me over the phone, and that worked. I actually had the phone there, so when the Toledo guy did something, I hit the phone, and then real quickly was able to find it. That really helped me use some names other than going, number 44, number 8, he made a great tackle there,
Yeah.
I like to use their names. When Mom's listening, she likes to hear Bobby's name on the air,
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And I will be on the bus next time. Well, actually, Ohio State's up here next year.
Yeah, we're up there next year, so we'll probably be up there.
Yeah, you guys are more than welcome.
We were going to come
to the national championship. We were going to have you get us into the national championship.
We were going to call you and say, "Hey, Dylan, can you get me and Rick into the clubhouse, or not the clubhouse, the press box? Can you get us in free, and we'll watch the game?" Would you have done that for us?
Oh yeah, no worries. I would have had you guys covered.
Yeah. Hey, man.
Well, unfortunately,
we knew we had a guy there.
Unfortunately, Flow Sports needs us to do some basketball at Wilmington College, or else we'd be right there.
Rick signed.
We'd be there.
Signed us up to do games at Flow Sports at Wilmington College, and that cut me out of Saved me money though, because I was going to have to pay for the gas to get us up there. And
We'll take
Rick,
we'll take the electric car, Joe.
yeah. Hey, I want to get back. Sorry. But anyway, that was good. And and a lot of people, when we talk about the club sports, they're like, "What's that?" what? And
Yeah,
so I
there's
wanted
still a
to
lot of
bring you
people
on and
that
explain
don't
to
know.
some of these people.
Yeah, there's a lot of people that still have no clue as to what club sports are about. And, I don't like to say intramural because I know that that's what it's related to because it's sort of extracurricular activity on a college campus. But it's not, when you talk about club sports, the level is higher than just intramural. And it's a lot more, in most cases, it's a lot more organized than just regular intramural sports. It's not a bunch of, it's like the guys that I used to go out on Sundays at my high school and we'd play football.
Well, that was girls
in
you
the
played with,
in
though.
the field, but this is a lot more organized and a lot more. And like I said, I would pit Ohio State's club football team against a lot of other football teams that are what you'd consider much more competitive. And Toledo's the same way, and Wright State's the same way. We've got, we do have some really good club teams that look pretty solid in Wright State and Toledo, and obviously, Michigan State, I was kind of worried about them because I know they were having such injury problems, and they had to drop out last year. But I think Michigan State's there to stay. I just like to see some other D1 schools and some MAC schools would be great because a MAC school would be at a level which would be highly competitive and would give you guys some additional people to play there in your area.
IU and Purdue would not be that far away to bring in somebody to get without you're not driving that much farther to go to IU or Purdue, I think, compared to going on up to Michigan and stuff. With from you going to Purdue or you going to Ohio State, probably not that much difference, is it?
No, probably not. I don't think it's because we're close to the line to Indiana. So,
Right. So
yeah.
and there's probably a lot of other smaller schools.
Michigan, I should say.
Yeah.
It's that week.
Thank you.
And then you're welcome. And then Ohio, Michigan, Indiana, Pennsylvania, Penn State. Penn State could get a club team.
Yeah.
Yeah, Penn State would be a good school to have a club team at.
They got to fix their D1 team or something.
Yeah, they sort of went off the rails. I guess it's after they stole our our DO, the defensive coordinator for the DC.
And that helped us out.
It helped us out. We didn't realize it at the time. We were kind of devastated, but we got even a better defensive coordinator out of that deal. But anyway.
Hey, I got one question for you, Dylan.
Yeah.
Do you guys do any recruiting? Do you go to any of the high schools and talk to kids about, hey, if you don't think you're going to make it to to Toledo to play on the D1 school, but you played football, have you thought about coming to our school? If you're thinking about coming to Toledo, maybe you could get on the club team. Or if you're not even sure what school you want to go to, but you like to play football, hey, think about coming to UT, and then you can get on a club team and still play football. Put that out there to all the local schools.
Yeah, that's something we've definitely ramped up, in more recent times, and something we plan to continue to do. I know a lot of our guys that go to UT and play on our team, a lot of them came from these local schools, so they already have those connections. So, it's as easy as reaching out to a coach and, letting them know what we offer here. And,
right.
And one thing we kind of touched on a little bit, or that I don't think I quite expanded on, but I think one thing, too, that is good to sell is, you go, if you're choosing between playing in the NCFA or playing in, a lower division NCAA school, a lot of those D3, you have to, from my understandings, you have to pay, your own way through school. Those tuitions can be more expensive.
Oh, absolutely.
With a private D3 than it is, to go to a public D1 university like UT. I'm sure there's more options and academic scholarship options at Ohio State as well. You go to these bigger schools, you get to be at a bigger school, still play football, and then we have to fit in our practices, with because we got our lives going on. But it's kind of a nice thing too, because you get to kind of experience the rest of college and work and whatever you got to do without having to, without you just get a lot more out of it.
Right, and you don't have to tell those players there's I don't want to go to practice every day. Well, you don't have to go to practice every day on the club team.
Well, and you made a good point. There are a lot of, even Wilmington College here in Wilmington, it's not cheap to go to school here.
It's one of the most expensive.
It's a D3 school, but, you're paying some pretty high prices in order to be able to go to school here. So instead of playing on a D3 school at Wilmington College, maybe the club experience at a state school would be a better choice for those people. And I know that it has a lot to do with what your field of study is, but there isn't anything that you can't get as far as study at UT as you can just about any other school in Ohio. Now, I know Wilmington is known for its agricultural simply because we're out in the hinterland, but to play in the Glass Bowl is fantastic, you're very fortunate that you use that facility. I know Miami used their facility when we used to do their club sports, but you get to a big school like Ohio State, and there's just they can't even afford to open the doors for us, to be able. But Lincoln Tower Park is a pretty nice place to play, and it's good for the Ohio State band. So we have a lot of fun there. It's sort of a unique type of a situation. Not to say that I wouldn't mind playing in a facility like the Glass Bowl every
I'd like
week.
to have a press box.
Yeah, it'd be nice to have a press box. Yeah.
Yeah, press box is definitely nice.
Yeah.
And also, it's really cool, by the way, what Ohio State Club has been able to do with the that band that they have now at those games. It's really cool that they've been able to do that. Something I've been trying to come up with something for us here at UT, whether it be getting a portion of our Rockets marching band or getting high school bands in the area to come out.
High school would be good too.
And, that's something I would definitely put out too to, some of these other club teams that maybe they don't have that option of getting, your school, the college band. Go to high school ones in the area and, see if they'll come to perform at your game. I'm sure they'd love an extra opportunity.
A lot of high school,
to do what they do, and their parents will come watch them and watch you.
Absolutely.
So,
a lot of high school students would enjoy the opportunity to come on a college campus, particularly if it's in their home area.
And play on the walk on the field that the Ohio State band practices on,
right?
And say we were on that field.
And what they've been doing, what they've tried to do at Ohio State is they're trying to feature, because they've had like this past weekend the Ohio State twirlers, the baton twirlers, they were on at halftime. So they're trying to bring in other club sports to feature them so that people are aware. And Ohio State has like 50, 60 club sports. It's phenomenal. The number, you can play club sports in darts at Ohio State. And the only thing I've got to push them now for pickleball. Pickleball is what I want to see at the college level.
Ohio State doesn't have a pickleball club?
Well, they do have I don't know if they have a club though. I know they play pickleball, and Ohio State is fortunate because they just finished a few years back that new center that is for basically intramural and club sports, and it's a fantastic facility.
If they've got pickleball there, I bet it's not long. If they don't have one in a year or so, they'll have a club team.
A lot of high schools are considering pickleball. Pickleball's becoming a very popular sport, especially with young people. They've stole it from us old people, and so now the young. They're very few things go from old to young. It's usually young to old. Like we stole the Facebook from the young people, and they all moved to Twitter and to Snapchat and all the other social medias. But pickleball, I have a particular interest in it and find it because I used to play tennis, and I guess anyone that's played tennis probably. As you get older, you can't move around as much, so pickleball's a lot smaller space
Smaller
and it's a lot faster, but makes it interesting. But,
Now, do you happen to cut out on us here, Dylan?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to get going here shortly.
All right.
But real quick before I go,
sure.
just to let people know, if you're in Ohio, Michigan, Indiana, I caught myself. If you're in a decent distance from University of Toledo and Glass Bowl Stadium, you should definitely mark your calendar for December 6th.
Yes.
Come watch the national championship. It's going to be the first time the NCFA's ever had it in a D1 stadium, and it's our goal to break the attendance record.
That'd be cool.
This year, and as well as I'm going to be reaching out to all the areas of campus over the next 2 weeks to put invites there, put invites throughout Toledo, try to really make it the biggest game we've ever hosted, and because it deserves it. This league deserves it.
Right.
And some things we've got lined up. So we'll have pizza, pop, water, concession, like a mini concession thing with those three things. So if you're hungry, we'll have food. We have one of our student orgs. They have what they call a singing blend, which is like a small choir that's going to be doing the national anthem before the game. We have one of our new student orgs, the Rocket Stomps. They're like a cheerleading club. They're going to be doing halftime. So there's going to be a lot of cool things there for people to check out, as well as the game is going to be incredible. Two undefeated schools playing each other in that stadium. So, if you are available at all, I would definitely consider coming to that game. I think it's going to be the best national championship game that we've ever had.
I agree.
I'm not just saying that because it's in the Glass Bowl.
No, I
But I
agree.
do think the Glass Bowl will make it a better experience.
I do too.
I can't wait to, put in that.
I think once they've got it there, I don't see how they can take it back out of there myself.
Yeah, there's not facilities like that anywhere that I know of that would be available to a club situation that the Toledo is willing to extend Glass Bowl for that use for that national championship.
And you guys can only build on that.
Yeah.
In
One thing I will reiterate, and it's been a pleasure working with you over the years that we've worked with you, but you've done such a fine job in Toledo at organizing and getting your club school to be competitive here in this league, and we've enjoyed working with you. We wish you all the luck in the world. We know you're excited about having this national championship game there, and we're excited for the University of Toledo to be able to host it there, and hopefully it'll just bring that much more attention to your school and to your club sport, and you'll have that many more people interested in participating at that level. But the best of luck, and we're doing a sports show this Monday with Ohio State. We do one every year before they go off to the national champ. Well, if they go off to the
maybe
national
we'll call you and have you back on after the national game.
Right. So
and hopefully we'll get you on the screen next time, Rick, if Rick can get his act together.
All right. Well, we'll have to figure out what it is the fiber doesn't like about.
We'll try you a third time and see if
the charm.
If it doesn't work,
Third time's the
then
charm.
Right.
if we get somebody else on in between then and it works, and then we get you back and it doesn't work, then we'll know
It's you.
Right, exactly.
it's the Tesla guy.
All right. Well, thanks.
But we appreciate you coming on the air, and you can tell people you actually know the voice of the Ohio State Club team
Oh my gosh.
personally.
All right.
It was a pleasure, guys.
Take care.
Thank you for having me on, and I look forward to coming back again. I'm always happy to talk about this league.
That's
and,
great.
What opportunities it gives students, and where it's gonna keep growing.
Sounds good.
Thanks, Dylan.
Yep, you're
Talk
welcome.
to you later.
Thank you, guys.
Bye-bye.
Yep, I'll see you guys.
Well, that was Dylan from the Toledo campus. And they've got a great facility there. They've got they're in 5 years they just went from no
Ballistic.
team to having a decent
5-0.
team.
It started 5-0 in the season.
Right. So yeah, they're not playing to Coppin State's level yet. They're not playing to Ohio State's level yet, but they are playing over some of the other teams that's already had. They beat Oakland College and some of the other ones in the area. That to be 5-0, to beating schools that have already had a club team for several years, they're doing very well.
And I think the staff there at Toledo Club and
They got behind them.
with Dylan, yeah, they're getting a lot of support. There's a lot of interest in that, and I'd like to see it come back at Miami University.
Yes.
They had a club team, and in fact they had a club team on 2 different occasions that left, came back, left. What we would like to see are more schools in maybe the MAC and some of the other schools that have some interest in joining the NCAF.
The time for timeout.
Yeah, we'll take a quick break here and sort of regroup ourselves. We'll have to decide because I know you have to go to the doctor for your prostate exam.
Not my prostate.
Joe,
I got to go for my legs today.
Joe is beginning to enjoy the prostate exam,
I have
so
to
he
go
keeps
check on my blood
he keeps
flow.
rescheduling them time and
My
time and
blood
time
flow
again.
is not doing well.
All right, so we're going to take a break, and we will be back. You're listening to Wake Up Wilmington.
Ba-ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba-bum.
An overworked office manager with too much already on her plate, spotted at a local all-you-can-eat Chinese buffet.
Indeed, it's a sweet and sour love story of great fortune.
I'm Amanda Martin.
And I'm Steve Burnett.
Investigative reporting, it's what we do, sometimes here at The Murphy Report.
From dining to fighting crime and everything in between, including the latest coming to Ohio's hometown theater, The Murphy.
The Murphy Report. A new report every Monday on the Murphy Theater website and on our own YouTube channel.
The mistrusted name in made-up news.
A badge we wear with honor.
Ooh, we get badges?
The Murphy Report.
Remember, if it's news to you,
It's news to us.
Welcome to downtown Wilmington, Ohio, the place to be. Experience something new with your family and friends in this vibrant and family-friendly historic district. When it comes to dining, shopping, and entertainment, downtown Wilmington has it all. From quick bites to high-end diners, we have a variety of food options to satisfy your taste buds. Explore our artisan boutique shops, jewelers, and florists for unique finds. Pamper yourself with soothing spa treatments, rejuvenating massages, and stylish haircuts at our top-notch studios. Dive into the world of art with our captivating galleries. And catch a show at the historic Murphy Theater, featuring awe-inspiring performances and cultural events. Immerse yourself in history by visiting our iconic landmarks, such as the Murphy Theater, historic General Denver Hotel, our Cultural History Center, and beautifully preserved historic architecture. Throughout the year, Main Street Wilmington hosts a variety of exciting events that embody the spirit of our town. From the Hometown Holodazzle Illuminated Parade to the family-friendly Halloween event and our lively wine walk, there's always something fun happening. Additionally, the Convention and Visitors Bureau presents a summer concert series featuring the annual Rock the Block, and we also have our weekly farmers markets. We boast a designated outdoor refreshment area where you can purchase alcoholic beverages and carry them as you explore the town. So what are you waiting for? Plan your next weekend getaway in downtown Wilmington. Head over to mainstreetwilmington.com for all the latest updates on events, dining, shopping, and entertainment. Downtown Wilmington, Ohio is the place to be. We extend our gratitude to Ralph's American Grill, World Equestrian Center, and R&L Carriers for their sponsorship that supported the creation of this video.
I'm back.
All right, we're back.
We'll do a countdown here. Get ready to cut off early today.
Yeah, we're going to take off a little early so Joe can get the prostate checked out. He said it's the size of a grapefruit now. Is that what they told you?
No, they said my legs are not, the blood's not flowing smoothly through there, and we need to check out why.
They're clogged.
Yep.
You need some leg unclogger.
So anyway, let's go. I got a few birthdays, very few, but
They're all dead.
All dead.
They're all dead.
Nobody's birthday today is alive. Tina Turner's birthday is today.
Oh, okay.
You know Tina.
Yeah.
She was 84 when she passed away.
And she was still dancing up a storm.
She was still dancing up a storm, I tell you. Charles Schultz.
I thought you were going to say Charles Lindbergh.
Charles Schultz.
Peanuts.
Do you know what the peanuts were called when they were first invented?
M&M's.
No.
No? No?
Little folks.
Little folks.
L-I-L folks.
Little folks.
Little folks.
Little folks. Okay.
And then there was problem with the syndicate. They were saying somebody else already uses that name, Little Folks, for something, and he was infringing on their rights by using it.
So it was copyrighted.
And he was, they were arguing back and forth. So when he got into the syndicate, and they actually came out with a 4-strip thing, you know, 4 whatever they call those little clips that you see on the cartoons. And he, because before I think maybe it was just a one thing, sort of like Family Circus, you know, just a one circle joke. And then he came up with like a little storyline, and so he renamed it Peanuts. And that was in
So Sean had said that your volume was very low when we first went on the air. I don't know. All the levels are the same.
1950. I was shouting when we first went because I was on the phone,
maybe,
and I felt like I needed to.
Maybe Joe had his hearing aid turned down, and it turned his volume down.
Maybe
somehow.
that's it. But anyway, Charles Schultz, and we discussed this. Was this one of my things I talked about earlier about Charles Schultz, and they called it the Little Folks, and then they renamed it to Peanuts. That was one of my things one year. Today is was Robert Goulet's birthday. He passed away in 2007.
He was in a lot of stuff. And he was. You'd have to be fairly old to even know who Robert Goulet was.
Well, he died in 2007, so yeah. And you know, figured 74. That wasn't very. You know, that's not old. That's younger. Oh, that's just a couple years older than I am, or about your age, I think. And so, but anyway, Bruce Paltrow. Do you know who Bruce Paltrow is?
Gwyneth Paltrow's brother?
Dad.
Oh, Dad. Okay.
Dad.
Was he anyone famous?
Well, he was
Other than he was Gwyneth Paltrow's dad?
He was a director and producer in television. So that's the thing. A lot of people don't know. There are a lot of directors
and producers
that nobody's ever heard of.
Interesting things, yeah.
We don't know them, but you know, if you're in Hollywood on TV shows, these people know. You know, they're very famous to each other. They do a lot of shows. But when you're watching a TV show, you don't read at the end who the director and producer.
You don't normally read the credits, is what you're saying,
right? And but Bruce Paltrow,
easy for you to say,
yeah, was he was born in 1943, passed away in 2002
Uncle
from
Punky
pneumonia.
says, wake up weather Sunday and clouds, high of 55. Why Sunday? Do we have something going on Sunday? I mean,
I don't know. Today it's cloudy with some sun shining through.
It is mild though.
The sun's coming through.
It is mild.
It was windy earlier.
Yeah, it's always windy around Joe Davis.
I'll tell you what, let's go out and check the weather right
Oh,
now.
so Joe is taking his
We're
microphone
going to go out and
with
check
him,
the weather right now.
and he's walking outside, and he will probably get picked off by someone driving a do a drive-by
Alrighty,
here.
well,
Joe
going out here
has
right
this thing
now
where he
though,
wants
and
to,
checking out the
you know,
weather.
we're going to be
It's a little
streaming
breezy out
Holidazzle,
here,
which
not
is this
not
Saturday
really
evening.
blowing like it was
We'll be
earlier.
doing that after
Although I
Sean
see
and I do
leaves
the
blowing
Wilmington
across the road
College,
very quickly
Mount St.
down
Joe
toward the
basketball,
General
men's
Denver, so it's
basketball
probably
contest, this Saturday.
wind chill out here.
Joe's out there talking, and I can't hear
And I
him,
see
so he's
a
probably
fire
talking
truck or an
while I'm
ambulance
talking.
down the road toward Buckley, so. But it's cold,
So I'm actually
nippy,
gonna quiet down
and
so
I'm
Joe
going
can
back inside because it's getting cold out here. And mostly cloudy. That is the look outside weather.
So Joe, you know, when you take that out there, I can't hear you, so I don't know whether I'm talking over you or you're talking over me.
If you were talking over me because I kept talking.
Yes.
I went out with the microphone to talk. Why are you talking?
Why are you out with the microphone talking? For the
Because I
weather?
went outside to tell people what the weather is. Like it's sort of breezy out here.
So what was the
I can
weather
see the
like?
leaf. I can see the leaves blowing down toward.
Well, the leaf blower people were out front and they were blowing that, making all that noise.
They
were
put all the leaves on the road, and then the wind's blowing the off the road back onto the sidewalk.
back onto the sidewalk.
And it looked like 1,000 cattle going across the road down by the General Denver.
Were a lot of people
And
down there?
but it's just windy out there. And there's a fire truck down by the Buckley Brothers in that area. Well, actually, it looks like it was right there at the.
Where they were working on the silos
No,
flag?
this boy. What's that little building you used to work at?
Are you talking about Sugar Tree?
Sugar Tree.
Oh, well, that
Right
might,
in front, looks like it was like right in front of Sugar Tree. There was a fire truck with these lights going.
maybe it was an ambulance.
It could have been anything. It could have been an electric worker working on something with these lights going.
Maybe electric. So, tomorrow is Thanksgiving.
Really?
We will not be on the air.
Yeah, Joanne Mossberger, I just want to let you know, Joanne, there is no show tomorrow, so
Right.
you don't have to worry about trying to find us tomorrow. We're not on.
Yeah, Friday we will be back. Hopefully, now I can't guarantee the fiber, but if we have problems with the fiber on Friday, I will switch to the Spectrum account. We've got Spectrum in the theater, and that's what we used to be on, and it was spotty at best. You know, it worked some, you know, we didn't have a lot of problem with Spectrum, but we did have some problem. And we've not had a bit of problem with the fiber after we've had it installed, but all of a sudden they have had some issues. So I don't know whether they're working on something internally or what the problem is, but it gets frustrating because
And we'd like to be able to do the split screen, have a guest in,
right.
and
That's-
talk to them.
That's the whole
whoever.
reason that we're spending this outrageous amount of money every month getting fiber through OmniFiber.
Because it'd be nice to, after they win the national game, to bring in on the air Coach Grega. He could be sitting at his house.
What we'll have to do, Joe, is we're going to have to practice with you. You'll be our guinea pig, trying to connect and bring you in. I have to.
I'd love to be able to just stay at home.
Well, no, I'm not going to say that you stay at home, but because
Next week I'll stay at home, and then you call me.
But
and
you do need to come up with the actual dates that you're going to be in South Carolina. Write them down and hand them to
as
me.
soon as I'm 100% when I'm going, I will let you know.
Yeah, he'll let me 2 days before he's leaving. I'm
course.
leaving 2 days from now. And
I'm telling you now, next Tuesday and Thursday, I've got doctor's appointments again.
Yeah, Joe is a sick man.
I'm dying.
He's dying. He's dying of old age, and he's got fuel line freeze up. He needs a little, what was it, boron? It used to be the boron gasoline or whatever with the fuel unfreezer. Or
Maybe we can get
line
Rick
unfreezer.
on Tuesday, who used to be on Tuesdays. Maybe
Yeah.
we can get him back
Well-
Tuesday.
well, Rick-
Thursday will be Uncle Punky.
Yeah, Rick has issues occasionally coming in simply because logistically, if
Right.
it's raining or if it's really bad, he's got to park across the street in the General Denver parking lot or the Mural parking lot. But anyway, Rick, yes, he. I don't know whether he'll be this Friday. Rick, if you're watching or if you watch, let us know if you're going to be here this Friday. Uncle Punky, as far as I know, he won't be here tomorrow because we're not on the air. But I assume will be here on Friday. We know Sean will not be
Sean
here
will
on
not be here
Friday
Friday.
because he's going to work the game with me on Saturday because Joe keeps taking off. Just runs for no reason. No reason Joe takes off. There's not a valid reason on Saturday
My
why
grandson
he could
was
not
crying
he could
and
not
wanted
be.
to spend time
oh,
with me.
boo-hoo. Is he the one that thinks there's 51 yards in a
Yeah.
football field?
Yeah, it's a
well, he
51 yarder.
He doesn't even deserve to have you in a football game. Besides, the traitor wears Michigan outfits.
Yeah, he does, and
Yeah.
that's why he wants to be with me so he can wear his Michigan.
I almost, it was hard for me not to fire an intern that we used to have work for us years ago from Wilmington College because AJ, he was his whole family they were big Michigan fans.
We did a game at the Schottenstein Center for the Wilmington Hurricanes in the national,
They were at the Final Four in
Final
basketball.
Four, and he walks in to the Schottenstein wearing all
Michigan.
get out in Michigan.
Yeah,
stuff.
and we have to
Michigan.
walk in with him. And
I didn't. I walked way behind.
and they kept saying, "Where's your car? Where's your car parked?"
But yeah, that's right after I had the stent put in, and I was really weak. I didn't realize how weak I'd have been. Because that was on Wednesday. I had the stent put in my heart, and this is Friday or Saturday that we were at the ball game, and Rick and everybody grabbed the stuff and started walking to the game, and I'm like a 95-year-old man walking, every 6-inch steps and walking as fast as I can.
Where's
going,
Joe?
I'm coming.
Where's
and
Joe?
they're disappearing
And
into the
not only
Schottenstein
that,
Center,
but
and I'm not even there yet. I'm
Where
still
we
100
did the
yards to go.
broadcast from was what they call the hockey press box. And if you look way up there where they're like that big, that was where we were doing. We definitely had to zoom in, that's for sure, because they were like little ants on the floor at the shot.
Well, let me finish my birthdays.
Oh, you're not
I
done with
went
them?
outside.
I thought they died.
Well, they did, but I'm going to finish them.
All right, finish them.
Lefty Gomez. Do you remember Lefty?
No, is he the one that didn't have a right arm?
No, he was a pitcher for the Yankees and the Senators.
Oh, so he was a left-handed pitcher.
Left-handed
Yeah,
pitcher.
Uncle Punky says he'll be here Friday.
He died he was 80 years old.
So he was as old as you.
Yeah. And
Well, maybe that's it. Maybe your warranty's run out, Joe.
That's
you
it.
got to keep going back
my
for
warranty is running out. That's the problem.
I think that Joe, in his dying days, he just enjoys his prostate exam, so he keeps rescheduling them.
This was one of your first wives, I think.
Oh, yeah.
Mary Edwards Walker.
Never heard of her.
Mary Edwards Walker.
Although, let me say, my second wife, her name was Mary.
See.
Yeah.
You just didn't
But
realize.
I mean, I've hit just about every female name in the book.
You're right. We got that many wives.
Sherry,
18.
Mary,
She was
Camille,
born in 1813.
Sydney.
She died 1919, the year my mom was born, and but she was an abolitionist. She was a prohibitionist. She was a prisoner of war.
So she didn't believe in anything.
She
no
was a-
fun stuff.
She was a prisoner of war in the Civil War. She was a prisoner of war in the Civil War, and she was a surgeon, female surgeon. Back in those days, you didn't have female surgeons. I mean, female doctors.
So
People,
you couldn't even vote.
and if people heard that there was a female doctor, they wouldn't even want to go to you. But they said,
Well, no, wait a minute. Was she a female doctor because she was female, or was she a female doctor because her patients were of the female persuasion
didn't say.
with female
Said,
stuff?
well,
You know,
I think
was
she
she
got.
like a gynecologist?
I think she became a surgeon because of the Civil War. You know, there were so many deaths, so many people shot, and
Injured.
And she was a surgeon, so they used her. She is the only, and this is one of the reasons I mentioned her today, the only woman to earn the Medal of Honor.
Oh, I thought you were going to say the Good Housekeeping Seal of Approval.
She was the only woman to earn the Medal of Honor.
Okay. Well, what country was that from?
During the Civil War.
Oh, okay. Well, was it the North or the South that she won the award from? Was she?
Didn't
was she?
say.
See, we don't even know whether she was, a Yankee or
Didn't
a
say.
Confederate.
It never said. It said she was a prisoner of war, but it didn't say for which side. Just said, and she won. I would say since she won the Medal of Honor, she was North.
Why is that? Because we didn't have Medal of
The-
Honor in the
the South-
Confederacy?
Well, did we?
They were just an unorganized heathen group of
Right,
people that
right.
just broke away from the United States.
You know, I think if you.
But I thought they were a lot more sophisticated because they were of the Southern persuasion.
Southern persuasion.
The Southern persuasion.
And the last one.
Oh, good.
Last one. See if you know this name. Mark Margolis.
Mark Margolis.
1939 to 2023.
Was he an actor?
He was an actor.
Yeah. Okay.
He was in Breaking Bad. He was also in Better Call Saul. He was a actor known for being the tough guy.
Weren't you in Breaking Wind?
No.
No, that wasn't
That
you in
wasn't
Breaking
me.
Wind?
But
When
Better
you
Call
followed me,
Saul.
when you followed me into the
But
men's restroom.
he was known as the what's that group in New York City, or the mob. He was sort of
mob?
always every show he's in, he was like a
have a
mobster, a
bent
mob
nose?
guy,
Yeah.
and they always played a bad guy, the mob guy, the bad guy.
The bad guy, the mob guy. Yeah.
That was him.
Do you know you're repeating yourself?
No, mob guy, bad guy, mob guy,
yeah,
bad guy, mob guy, bad guy. Never do
the
that.
Bob
Never,
guy.
never repeat myself.
The
Never
Bob
repeat
guy.
myself. So anyway, those are the birthdays of people who have went on, and
Joe has went on.
for from November 26th. So if their birthdays were November 26th, tomorrow is Thanksgiving. Maybe on Friday we'll have Thursday and Friday's birthdays, since we're not going to be here tomorrow.
It makes sense. Well, so what are you doing tomorrow for Thanksgiving, Joe?
Going to my son's house,
Oh, okay.
watching football.
Oh, yeah. Well, I think my son, I'm going to suggest he come over to our place. And I think what we're going to do is we're just going to order a Thanksgiving feast from Bob Evans. And just because you can order and then go pick it up.
I've noticed since they've opened, I drove by there a couple times. Used to, I drive by there, and there'd be like 3 cars. Since they've reopened,
Well, a lot
it's
of
been
people
packed.
probably missed them.
Right.
you know.
You don't know what you got till it's gone.
That's right. Just remember that about Wake Up Wilmington.
Yeah, and we're going quite often.
Well, we have had some struggles as of recent. We won't mention any names, but also the fiber has not been up.
All I want to say is if you're from Wilmington and you don't like something, call in to the mayor's office and tell them you don't like whatever it is, and they'll stop it immediately, because one person called and told them they didn't like it. So if you don't like something,
Joe is
call the mayor's office
Joe
and
is
say,
referring to
I
the
don't
music.
like it.
So we aren't sure still, because I've not heard from Trevor Shoemaker. We did get the music on Main up and operating. In fact, I had actually I was playing because I hadn't programmed the music on our automation server here. So I just set it. I just pulled up the WZAA stream.
Light 60s music.
And that's what we were playing. And
Light 60s.
one of the little biddies across the street that doesn't want anybody to enjoy anything. And this was at 5:30 in the evening. It's
Not
not like
bedtime.
it was not like 8 o'clock in the morning. This was at 5:30 in the evening. And within 2 hours, the mayor had called Trevor and said, "Got to turn that music off."
And we had a semi truck parked out front a while ago that was making all kinds of noise. We almost couldn't hear ourselves. We had the leaf blowers go by that you couldn't hear going by.
Yeah.
And that's a lot of noise, and these weren't as loud as that.
Trevor had said that actually she had complained the last time they had this system up and operating a decade ago. So she's still around. So anyway, she was complaining, and they went over with a decibel meter, and they showed her that the decibels from the music that she could hear over at her, wherever she is up there, were lower than the decibels from the...
We were cutting earlier at the same time.
So anyway, the decibels were lower from the music than they were from the regular street traffic that's out there. And that's true. It'd be one thing if we wanted to play till 10 o'clock at night, and legally we could, because the The ordinance says you have to conclude your music by 10. And of course, we've had everything from rock the block to. This is an entertainment district. This is not a residential neighborhood. This is an entertainment district. So if you're going to live downtown and you want to be all cosmopolitan in this big city of Wilmington, Ohio, then you have to understand you're going to put up with, you're going to put up with some noise.
Some noise down
That's
here.
just the result of living downtown and being Miss Cosmopolitan. But anyway, so I still do not know yet whether we're going to have Christmas music for Holidazzle. But Sean and I will be doing the game at Wilmington College with Mount St. Joe and Wilmington College, the men's game, on Saturday. And then concluding the game on Saturday at Mount St. Joe, I will rush back to the Murphy Theater and get set up so that Joe and I can stream the Holidazzle Parade.
I'll probably have to have my grandson with me because I probably won't have time to take him home.
Well, that's all right. We'll have open windows up there. If he gives us any trouble, we'll know how to drop him out. Just push him. Push. We'll do a Joe push.
Push.
Yeah.
A push.
But anyway, we'll push,
I did that yesterday.
We'll push him out to the 51-yard line down on the.
Yesterday during the game, you don't have your headphones on, but I went, and that player just got pushed, and I said that just for Rick.
And that was the women's game yesterday, which they didn't do too well in. It was kind of ugly. It was sort of like the girls' basketball game at
with
Miami
5
Trace
minutes
a
to
week
go
ago.
to halftime.
Yeah.
It was tied at 18-18.
Competitive, yes.
Very competitive game, and then by halftime they were down 13, and within 4 minutes of the second half they were down over 20 points.
And what school were we playing, Joe?
Some schools called the Knights.
What was the college?
The Knights.
What was their?
I asked you earlier what the school was.
What was their actual name?
What's the school's name?
I'll tell you right away. I'm going to look it up.
It was from Grand Rapids, Michigan.
Grand Rapids?
Michigan. Grand Rapids, Michigan.
Michigan. All right. So
we don't
Wilmington
say the
College.
M words this week.
It's Calvin. I don't know why.
I
didn't even have to look it up. See, I did not look it up.
My cousin's son's birthday, or grandson's birthday.
The Calvin Knights played the Wilmington Quakers last night.
I didn't remember they were the Knights.
And they blew them out by the end of the game. They won by 40, didn't they? Something
26.
like that? 26? Well,
26.
about the same difference. But anyway, so the girls have got a ways to go. Although Calvin, I must say, they were in the NCAA playoffs last year, so they're no slouch. They were playing and these girls are young at Wilmington College. Not their age, but they're young as a team.
Well, we didn't make our first 3-point. Wilmington is a 3-point shooting team. A lot of girls shoot the three. And we didn't make a 3-point shot until the second half. And I'm going to say probably a lot of that was on the defense, doing a good job of shutting down our long shot shooting girls.
Yeah, and really, like Joe said, it was a competitive game the first half. It just got away from the Quakers the second half.
Yep.
And then they sort of,
I think the other team watched what they were doing, shut down, and
they
then
made the corrections that a lot of them do at halftime.
We couldn't adjust to that.
Right. So anyway, the girls will improve, and we've already seen that from Miami Trace. They lost that first game by pretty much a blowout. Their second game against Dina, they have come back and they won. So congrats to the ladies there, the Lady Panthers at, what are you doing?
Turning that mic off.
Oh, are you anxious to go, Joe?
Well, it's 2 minutes till 10, and I was leaving early.
Oh, well, you will. We'll let you leave at...
That just means I don't get...
I guess what we'll do is I will clean up and I'll let you go. Isn't that sweet of me?
You're sweet.
Yeah. Is there, now, just bring
I got to go get gas because I...
Well, when you get gas, stop and get me some lunch. Bring me some lunch back before you go to the doctor.
I'll eat it for you, too.
Yeah. Bring
I'm
me
such a nice guy. I'm going to get you lunch, and I'll even eat it for you so you don't have to do that.
You're a champ, Joe. You're a chump. I thought maybe it's a chump. But anyway. Well, we want to thank everybody for tuning in, even though we had
a lot of problems at the beginning
with fiber. And I will promise you, we will get this worked out.
we were getting fiber so we'd have no more problems.
Right, and we will get, and we've not really had, I'm going to say, we've not really had a lot of problems with Omni Fiber since we've got the fiber. It's been pretty much trouble-free. What's been going on this last week, I don't know. Whether they're, the problem too is there's so much going on as far as all these other fiber companies are coming into Wilmington and they're bringing their lines in. And so the fiber runs next to the other fiber lines. Maybe, they say, hey, there's Omnifiber. Let's just snip this here and, give them a little problem. Maybe they'll switch to Alta. Who knows? Anyway, I'm not suggesting that there's any trickery going on, but you never know. So we will wish everybody a happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Eat plenty of turkey. Don't eat ham. Save ham for Christmas. And
I'm a ham guy.
be with your families. Be with your loved ones. Be with the people that you don't get to see a lot. Make sure you're spending some time because time is fleeting, and when you get as old as Joe, you never know when you're going to lose your prostate. And I think his is on his way out. The size of a grapefruit, they say. The size of a grapefruit. So, Anyway, Joe, any last words for our audience?
Yes. Never believe a word Rick says.
Me.
Happy Thanksgiving.
See everybody.
Good night, sweetheart. Well, it's time to